Facebook has changed its setup again. So we're live before I thought we were going live. Here we are. We're live.
That's
People
hilarious.
are watching. What a fantastic start. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, that is hilarious, Pete. The intricacies and wonders of Facebook are just have to be experienced to be believed, quite frankly. Did Pete mention about getting me a coffee? Because he's really thirsty. Anyway, I hope wherever you are, you've got a coffee. You're sitting down and you're having a nice morning. It's quite warm in here, isn't it?
Yes.
Lovely. Yeah, because we've had a beautiful week at Malvern, at the Malvern Quilt Show, and it was lovely to see so many customers, and particularly because overall Best in Show, Longarm Quilting Award, Professional Longarm, Advanced Professional rather, Large Wall Hanging, and something else. Anyway, Linda got 5 awards. So absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It was, and the thing was, it was here. That quilt, along with the Best in Show, Silver Linings, were here at the showroom the week before. And Linda had been down to teach, of course, our workshops. And we've been seeing feathers coming up all over the place on Longarm Learning Curve, which is a Facebook group that you can join when you've got a hand quilter. So, what somebody said, that's hilarious.
Annette, Browncoat Road, has asked if I can get her a coffee as well. Come on, Annette.
Yes, Annette, I'm coming up.
I'm
coming up. We've talked about you and I getting together for a little sew session. We'd have such a laugh.
I did sort of drive past your place this week, Annette.
Oh, yeah,
I might have called in for a coffee myself.
You should have done, Pete. You should have done.
It was a long enough drive anyway, Liz.
It was. So this week, so straight after the Malvern Quilt Show, I'll go back to the Malvern Quilt Show in a moment, but Pete's had a very busy week. He's been at Berwick-upon-Tweed, seeing the lovely Adele, and that's lovely. So Adele's now upgraded, and we've got he was out yesterday as well doing another installation. Got 3 more next week, so we are very busy, which is wonderful. And the thing is that we're just adding to those long armors around the country, and we're just delighted that people like Linda are inspiring people through the quilts that they're producing. But what was really pleasing was that at the Malvern Quilt Show, that not only did Linda get the Best in Show, but we also had a number of other award winners using the Handi Quilter machines. So, for example, 2nd place in the large wall hanging, and actually got another award as well. I haven't written them all down, I'm afraid, but it's on our blog post, on our YouTube video that I've just put up this morning, which is a little summary of me walking around the quilt show. I'm afraid my speaker wasn't very good. It had slipped down my lanyard, so it was picking up a few other little bumpy things. I apologise about that. Didn't notice. There's so many things going on, and the signal was so terrible the day before. But anyway, we managed to do it. Did a little video that you can find on YouTube that shows you a little walk around, starting with Sandy Lush's quilts, which are beautiful, hand-stitched, hand-quilted applique. And Sandy's known very much for her cock quilts, but these are absolutely stunning examples of applique, hand applique. And then I move on to the other exhibitions and competition. So in those other areas, you've got Claire Wallace, who's actually a distributor in South Africa. And Claire Wallace's mother, who's she's English originally. Claire Wallace's mother was there to receive the award on her behalf. So she got a large wall hanging 2nd place, and overall winner 2nd place. And then we'd got also Helen Burnham, who got 3rd place large wall hanging. Congratulations, Helen, and also 1st prize for piecing. We'd also got Maggie Lothian, who had a stunning art type quilt, which was done on her capri, and Maggie had also submitted another quilt that was done on her capri as well. And you can see those in the video. Abigail Sheridan de Graaf, who's our Handi Quilter educator, and she was teaching here earlier this month, was also got a judge's merit. So judge's choice. Oh, here's my coffee. Thank you, Pete. Thank you. That's lovely. What a sweetie. So it was just so lovely to see so many people, with Di Bell as well on her Sweet 16, who have been coming to classes. Some of those people have been coming to classes and seeing, Helen Burnham's whole cloth as well. But one of the other people who came to the show was Vera, and she'd been on Linda's whole cloth design class last year, which we ran in October, and we're running a a slightly condensed version of that for 3 days. We've got one place left on the stand-up of that on the 5th to the 7th of July. Unfortunately, somebody's had to cancel. It's very difficult to get here by train from Norwich, we find, or by bus. It's a bit of a slog to get over here. So anyway, one place available. So you can book that now. It's a stand-up place. And if you would like to come, it would be amazing, and we would love to see you. Whoever you are, you'd be very welcome. It's £540 for 3 days, and you can find it on our website under classes and Pinhole Quilting showroom workshops. Also, under the showroom workshops, we're delighted to have the wonderful, absolutely terrific quilter who also appears on Sewing Street on a regular basis, and I have been with Stuart Hillard on Sewing Street myself, and Stuart will be here on the 11th of July. We would love it, as many people as possible who are into long arm quilting, who want to get into long arm quilting, come along and hear Stuart's talk. It's only £10, but that's just a kind of registration fee, and you get that back of any purchases that you made on the day. So that's just 2 or 3 reels of glide and you've paid for it. It's just, we find it easier just to have a registration, so that as an incentive to come. So let's say welcome to Stuart on the 11th of July, either a morning or afternoon session. We look forward to seeing him here. He'll be bringing some of his quilts. He'll have a slideshow presentation as well. So have fun, come along. It will be a lovely morning or afternoon, and you can have a play on some of with the latest feet and things like that, and have a look at the Pro Stitcher Light as well while you're here if you've got a Moxie. So do come. It would be great, and Stuart is so entertaining, such a lovely man. Now on with other things. Pete, we're going to talk about thread a little bit, aren't we? Because we're going to talk about the Primo Soft. So from the same company that makes the glide thread, we've got more of a more cottonized type. Let me just have a little bit of my coffee. Do you want to say anything about that, Pete?
Yes, we've now got all of the colours of Primo Soft in the small spools. Good. And the large spools. If you haven't tried it and you like to have the flat finish on your stitching from time to time, give it a try.
So this is Primo Soft black cone, and this is the glide.
Yeah, so they're actually called the same colour. They do look different in the flesh. Yeah. But this one on the right here is glide with the sheen that you're familiar with, most of you. And here's Primo Soft. It's also polyester, but it's been cottonized, so you get the flat finish. Yeah. And I'm stitching out on this Amara with Pro Stitcher, which is the machine that Stuart Hillard has got, and we absolutely love this combo. And I wanted to show you some of the things. Oh, I've got an orange thread on here, so hopefully you'll see that. Now, the other thing about workshops, before we go on with the presentation, is that Telen Jeffrey, Handi Quilter Ambassador from South Africa, will be coming in September. I hadn't really said who it was, just a couple of people I've mentioned it to, possibly, but not too many. And what we're going to do is we've got 2-day workshops and a 3-day workshop the following week in September. The final dates and times and everything, I'm just reviewing that. Your mic, problem with your mic? No, is it on? It's on, plugged in still. Let me plug it in again. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Is it this one? No, this one's okay as well. Right, report, we have replugged in. Tell us if it's working now. Everything is switched on, everything is plugged in. Okay, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Nothing yet, I'll let you know. Do I need to come closer to you? Should I come closer to you? That one reacted. Let's see what they say. The mic has dropped. A bit faint. A bit faint. Oh, Georgie says yes. This sounds better next to Pete's mic. All good. Right. Okay. I'm sorry about this, folks. It's a bit of a shame. It's all on. How weird. Right, quick change of mics. There's a volume on that. Oh. I'll be back with you in a minute. You have to test it, says Carol Mann. We have been talking.
Yeah. Okay, Carol, that's fair comment. Fair comment. If you don't say anything, you're just standing there. Yeah, but we were talking. Okay. Right. How's about that? How about that? Can you hear me loud and clear? I need to talk a little bit louder. Probably. Yeah, and I found the volume button as well.
We seem to be okay now.
Good.
Right.
Good. Right. So, Talen Jeffrey, who's a Handi Quilter ambassador from South Africa, is coming in September. We are absolutely delighted that Talen is coming. Lady Jane Quilting. Some of you have done workshops with her virtually, and you're going to be able to see her in the flesh, which is wonderful because Talen is an amazing teacher and she has such a diverse range of experience. She's a really experienced sewer. She's been sewing forever. Her mother had a shop as well, and Talen helped her after she did a degree in interior design and worked in that industry. She then got into the quilting and absolutely loves it. And she has got the most amazing techniques for doing feathers. It's a little bit different to Linda's. To be honest, everybody you learn from on feathers. And I've learnt from Jamie Wallen and Kimmy Bruner and Linda, and I did a class with Talen on Zoom on feathers. They all teach it a little differently and you learn something different from everyone. So I think it's really worth exploring different options and different teaching styles. So the 2-day workshop, one of them will be on called Basic Feathers and Grids, and we'll look at first drawing, then stitching, Talen's technique of understanding the feather and frond shape, and 2 different stitching methods. And basically, really getting into that. And then in the afternoon, we'll do the grid fills. And then on day 2, we'll take the techniques you learned on day 1 and we'll quilt a fat quarter size sample. So it's taking those techniques and then putting it into practice in something that you could then use, because in the afternoon on that day 2, we'll be doing ink tents. So that's pretty phenomenal. And then on workshop 2, free motion quilting applique. Did you know that you can do a buttonhole and blanket stitch with your Longarm machine? Great technique for making gifts, as you're going to do the applique and quilting all in one. And we're going to be doing it free motion, small piece that you can use in a bag or a quilt block or a mug rug, etc. So that's going to be something that we were going to do on our Handi Quilter Academy that we had to cancel back in 2020. So these 2 are kind of things that we had already said, yeah, we'd love to do those classes, and time was due to come. And sadly, of course, due to that thing that we know happened in 2020, we had to cancel it, which was very, very sad, and we're still getting over that with emotional counselling and therapy. Anyway, add background quilting as well as inside applique quilting, and we'll learn to do manual couching of yarns too thin for the couching feet. So it's going to be a really exciting day. Day 2, that's day 1 of the second workshop. Day 2, just quilt the fabric and how do I quilt it session. All this will be written up when these classes get launched, and then booking will be soon. So I'll let you know when that is on an email. It will be imminent. I'm just finalising a few things with Talen and getting the photos and everything so I can put that up on the website. Well, Abigail and I can put that up on the website. So the second day will be a fantastic day when we go and take a special piece of fabric that you might have in your stash and you don't want to cut it up. We want to do whole cloth on this, but it's actually taking the inspiration from the fabric. We'll be showing how you can do that with double thread, 2 threads, 1 needle. We'll be talking about wadding, using double wadding, which is something that not everybody's tried, but it's a technique that we use quite frequently to create more dimension and texture in the quilting. And we'll also be doing things like basically successful quilting sets for whole cloth quilting, how we work through the quilt. So large scale, medium scale, small scale. And then we've also got a little session where you're going to bring along perhaps a quilt top that you've got, and how do I quilt it? So that's the end of day 2. Workshop number 3 is taking what we did in workshop number 1, but actually it's a more advanced class. So this is really for people who actually understand how to do feathers, but want to fit them into more interesting shapes. And it's similar to what we did with Linda, but this is with Talen. But so build up the skills on day 1 with feathers and moving on to advanced feathers on day 2. And we'll be doing ruler work, feather sample. Ruler work is just one of those skills that you really need to be able to get the hang of, and then grid designs as well. This will be advanced grids. So the grid session will build on the basic grid designs, but making more complex and intricate designs. But then we'll be doing a ruler and feather work sample on the final day, which we will ink tense in the afternoon. Well, if you thought that you weren't going to catch your breath for all of those techniques and skills, you're absolutely right. It's going to be really full on, and we can't wait to launch those classes. So thank you very much to Talen for agreeing to come over to the UK. We're pretty thrilled that such a high level of teacher will be coming as well, because we haven't had an international teacher for ages because of COVID. So very exciting. Right, any questions?
Not on that. All that information will of course be online once it's launched.
Yes, it will. It will. So I want to do a demo on Pro Stitcher. When the Amara has Pro Stitcher, all of the cabling and everything is neatly hidden away inside the Amara. If you've got an Avanti, you'll know that with the Pro Stitcher, you've got cabling on the outside. So that's kind of one of the main differences in terms of how the setup is. But the carriage is pretty much the same between this machine and the Avanti, for those who've got one of the older models of Handi Quilter. Of course, we've got Pro Stitcher Lite, which fits on the Moxie, which we'll be demoing soon. We're just waiting for our first consignment of Moxie Pro Stitcher Lights to come in, which should be imminent. And then we'll be contacting everybody to arrange delivery of those.
Yes. So just an update on Pro Stitcher Lite.
Yep.
The Pro Stitcher Lights have shipped from Handi Quilter in the States. We're just waiting to hear from our shipping agents when we can get that onto a flight across the Atlantic.
Okay, I thought that was mine. Yeah.
Yes, so imminent Pro Stitcher Lite. So Leanne, I see you're online this morning, so you'll be excited to hear that news.
Oh, hi Leanne, hi. Yeah.
Sue Dutton says she's missed the dates of those classes. We talk about the dates for?
They're on our website. I didn't write them down, I'm afraid. 21st to the 28th or something. It's in a period, but I haven't got, the dates aren't completely finalised.
I'll just find that.
Yeah. It's in a period, so if you kind of block out that period, I think it's the 21st. Okay.
Wednesday is the first one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's the weeks commencing the 19th of September.
Yes.
And the 26th of September. There'll be various courses in those 2 weeks.
But that first date, I'm just finalising dates because we're actually at the Harrogate Quilt Show, so it might start on the Thursday rather than Wednesday, just saying.
So Jean McNeil says that she's taking the online whole cloth quilt class now with Glenn.
Great.
She's an amazing teacher. Yes,
she is. Absolutely fantastic. But the benefit of doing it hands-on is that we have one machine per customer. And so, how much you learn hands-on with all of those other people here as well we know that from all of the other workshops we've done, how much you learn when you've actually got the teacher here as well. Online has been a great substitute. Right, I wanted to show you Pro Stitcher. So, can we see the screen is the only question. How's that?
I think that's just about visible.
Okay, great. Right, so...
But what's more important is what the output's going to be.
Yeah, so I did a stitch out here. I'll do another one just below it actually. Yeah, so what we do with this, if I just file clear all, we can load any designs that we've got from our screen. So we've got some lovely designs on here. So something like fleur de lis. And we can put it into a very, very simple way of doing it is just to create a 2-corner, which you look at your quilt and you work out where it's going to go. You run over your paperwork that you left on the frame, because that's what you do.
Claire, yes, just to answer your question, Claire Shortland, yes, you've booked on the class with Linda. You will be on a sit-down machine. Can't guarantee it will be a Capri, but you will be on a sit-down machine.
Yep. And once we've got our area defined, which is like a little pink block, we can skew it and put it into that place. And then we can stitch it out. So this is Pro Stitcher, just baseline that, proceed. And it moves to the center. You pick it up, pick up the threads, press resume, and there we go. If you want to, you can set up a pause while you cut the thread. I don't always do that, so I've just pressed pause and resume.
Now this is tracking where it's stitching.
Yeah, having the book, as Jill says, having the book of designs is really useful. because it means that you can actually look at all the different designs and see which ones you want to choose. And you can adjust the speed, you can adjust the stitch length just to get it exactly as you'd like for the thread. This is the Primo Soft thread. So you can see it has a different effect. Maybe you can't see, I don't know how much you can see on Facebook. There we go. Just do one more down and up, and there's your lovely stitching. Okay.
Works in a very similar way with Pro Stitcher Lite, of course.
It does. Yeah, but we can also do things like a multi-point. So if I just clear that off and we go into area, I can actually, on the Amara, I can actually use this diamond key, which is on my handlebars, to say what my multi-point wants to be. And it will then, whoops, didn't want to do that. Brilliant. I looked up and pressed the wrong key. Here we go. Don't press start stop just as you're going. I'll just pull through.
So this is an unusual shape that you've got here, Liz.
It's a rocky road from a dumper truck. Here we go. Just moving around, and you just consistently go in one direction. And if we look at the screen, Pete, there's our multi-point area. So now I pick my design. There's a lovely little, if I go into designs now and open, in continuous line designs, I've got some lovely little trucks and stuff. So I can put that in there. I could add and go into repeat and add more of them. And then I can go into modify and skew it and get it to fit into that.
Sally, it's the Pro Stitcher that makes the pinging sound when Liz was choosing the points that she wanted the computer to recognise. So the sound was at this end. Look at those trucks.
There we go. So they're going to be going up and down the road. Yep. So then I can stitch that out. So that's just a quick little demo there of how it all works. And you can do so many other things. We can set up things like Baptist fan or any of the other designs that you might want. And that's just going to stitch away.
Right.
Alrighty. Yep, so...
That's working.
Yep. As long as it's not too loud. Can you hear everything? So these are the lovely colours of Primo Soft. So, we love Lemon Ice, which is this one here. Cool Grey 3, very useful. And these, here's, do you want to just zoom in on that, Pete?
So I think there are 25 different colours of Primo Soft. You've got them in the small spools here and in the large spools.
Yep. And that's the stitching.
See how we're getting on over here.
Yeah. I would normally put the side tension on, but didn't put it on this occasion. I'll just pause that a moment. You can see that's just going to stitch out. I also wanted to show you, this is a lovely quilt that Pauline, who works with us, she brought in. This was a quilt that actually my mum made the blocks many years ago when she was still stitching. She doesn't stitch anymore, unfortunately. Lovely little cat blocks. This is for quilts for the group in Pershaw. And it's been quilted by Janet Batho, who's got a Handi Quilter. Look at that lovely quilting. Can you see that? She's done a beautiful job on it. And I love her border. Absolutely great. So it's really nice because that
border's lovely.
It is gorgeous. Look at that. Nice job, Janet. Really, really nice job. It's all free motion. All free motion quilted. And the nice thing, I mean, Janet was here for Quilts for Care Leavers, and she did some beautiful quilts when we had those 2 days. But what was lovely actually was that, you know, my mum's had got lots of fabric, so I went along and just brought out from the house quite a few of the blocks that she hadn't completed. There's a grandmother's flower garden in there. I can't see when I'll ever complete that. But anyway, I gave them to the local Pershore group, and they were delighted with the fabrics that she donated. So they're all going to charity, which is brilliant. Okay. Other things? Anything else that you want to mention, Pete? In terms of fault determination and...
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. Lots of people inquiring about upgrades. We do upgrades, we do trade-ins.
Yeah.
So quite a few of those on the go at the moment.
Yeah. So we launched the Pre-Loved Longarms website recently, and that's the first time I think we've mentioned it as on the email newsletter. And it's a dedicated website to second user machines. Because we're getting quite a lot of trade-ins, and that's the advantage of Handi Quilter, is that the brand holds its value really well, and we help facilitate trade-ins, and if people want to sell their machines, they can do so as well. So our Pre-Loved Longarms website is set up now, and you'll be seeing more of that over the coming months and years, because it's a way for us to sort of really market those machines separately. So currently we've got a Capri. There's a lovely Capri. It's on at a very, very good price. And if you were looking at a Sweet 16 as a new Sweet 16, you can buy that Capri for pretty much less than it would cost you for a new Sweet, and it's got most of its warranty remaining. So that's a lovely example of an 18-inch Capri, which is the one that Maggie Lothian was using on the quilts that I've got on that YouTube video of the Malvern Quilt Show, her art quilt, and painted quilt, which she did so well with. The other ones we've got Simply 16s. There's four Simply 16s available on a variety of different machines. One's with a customer in March in Cambridgeshire, quilting from the back kit on that one, I believe. I think that's right, isn't it? On a little foot frame. Yeah. And you can see it. If you're over in that area, obviously it's convenient for you to view, then that's brilliant. So yeah, we're delighted that we've got so many of these machines available, because that means that customers have used these machines to a certain extent, and now they've having got into long arm quilting, they've upgraded to most of them to Amaras, I guess. That's what most of them have done. Yeah. So it's a great opportunity. If you're interested in long arm quilting and you don't perhaps have the budget for a brand new machine, our second user machines, what we call pre-loved, are a lovely option for you. And you can team up some of those with options on computerization as well. Some of those are available. You can actually put a computerized system on the Simply 16.
The warranty on Handi Quilter machines is transferable.
Yes.
And even on older machines where the manufacturer's warranty is expired, we give our own warranty on most machines.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I mean the original warranty is a 5-year warranty, which is a very good warranty, and we're delighted that we can actually pass that on. Not all manufacturers can, and that makes it very difficult to sell on a machine if you don't perhaps get on with it, as has happened with a few customers. Which we know about because they bought Handi Quilter afterwards. So it's an interesting situation if you're left with a machine that's got a 2-year warranty that you can't pass on. Okay, now, anybody who'd like to come to a showroom demo, we would love to see you here, but don't forget 11th of July for Stuart Hillard. That would be a really good opportunity to come. And it's with other long arm owners. We've already had bookings for people who've already got Handi Quilter machines. So it would be wonderful to see you at that showroom demo with Stuart. All right. And don't forget, throughout May, we've got our post free with orders over £60. So if it's something like thread or some of the rulers and things that you'd like right now, stock up and get to the £60 limit, and you will be able to get your goods sent post free. Great time to order. So wherever you are, is there any questions or anything I've said?
Wherever you are, well, Jude is still in the Lake District. She's at the Pencil Museum in Keswick.
Oh, yes. Oh, how fantastic. Enjoy.
Lakeland pencils.
Yes. Oh, it's lovely up there in Keswick, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful.
Sally's asked, is that a Pauline Burbage quilt behind Liz? Yes, it is, Sally.
Ah,
that is definitely this one on the right-hand side here. One she made specifically for us, actually. Not the one on the left.
It says, thank you, Pete, Liz and Pete at Pinhole Quilting. I have to read it on the back. At Pinhole Quilting. Oh, it says, yeah, thank you, Liz and Pete at Pinhole Quilting. Pauline Burbage.
There we are.
Yeah, on the side. So this was done actually when we were talking to Pauline about her current exhibition, which is in Wales. And I did that interview with her a few weeks ago, well, back in March, wasn't it, Pete? And Pauline was working on bigger scale of these, and we purchased this one from her to help sponsor the exhibition. So that was our intention. So I'm going to just get this Pro Stitcher going again. If anybody's interested in Pro Stitcher or Pro Stitcher Lite, just let us know. We can do Zoom demonstrations of these machines. So if you can't visit, then obviously that's another option for you.
So Sally visited the exhibition at Ruthin.
Ruthin, yeah.
Pauline Burbage's exhibition, which is still on until July, I believe.
No, it's July. It is July,
isn't it? Or is it September? Anyway, it's still on at the moment.
It is, it's July. Yes, it is. And the other thing is Festival of Quilts. Now, we have got classes at Festival of Quilts. The idea of those classes was to give people who've not got a long arm an introduction into long arm quilting. If you've recently had a long arm, they could possibly be also useful if you've just got a Handi Quilter. The idea is that we show you some of the accessories that you get with Handi Quilter and show you how to use the machines. And we'll also have the computerized systems in that classroom. So it'd be a great opportunity for those people who might be interested in perhaps upgrading, or if you're interested in trying out one of the other machines that you don't currently have. They're not really designed as a class for those people who are already proficient on their Handi Quilters. So that's the main aim of those. If you've got I don't know if you've got other brands, whether it'll be so appropriate, because we're showing you accessories that come with the Handi Quilters and the quilting from the back kit and all that kind of stuff. So it's mainly for people who are interested in more than just a demonstration, which is one of the hard things that we can't really do so easily at a show when there's lots of people coming around and everybody's just having a whiz around with the long arm. This is more of an in-depth, and it's with Linda Jackson, who's just won at Malvern, and Abigail Sharon de Graaf, who's just got a second place at Paducah. So you've got two really top teachers there to give you an insight into how to use the Handi Quilter machines. So we really hope that we can see you if you're interested in buying a Handi Quilter. Everything? I think we're there. So I know it's been a little bit shorter than our normal one, but I think at this time of year we're just talking more about classes and the bookings and things, and we hope that you're getting out in the garden and perhaps enjoying a bit of travel now that things are freeing up a bit. But we hope that you have a lovely day quilting if that's what you're doing. So with no further ado, I shall wish you all the best and happy quilting.